This is the She Dares to Travel podcast, and I am your host, Raquella Pollock. After spending a decade managing the #1 travel agency in Canada, I am now here to connect you to women that are taking the travel industry by storm, as well as female business professionals that also have a passion for travel, just like me. We are here to inspire, uplift, and motivate you to not only follow, but plan out your dreams, no matter where in the world they may be. And of course, this wouldn't be possible without our sponsor, Staples Studio, where I am currently recording from. Check them out on their website, studio.staples.ca. It truly is a new approach to co-working with community at its heart. There's access to hot desks, meeting and event spaces all across North America. So thank you, Staples Studio, for connecting us and sponsoring this podcast. And thank you for listening. Enjoy, be sure to subscribe, and follow along. Thank you to Hotel Z Kelowna, Victoria, and Tofino for being our sponsor. You can also save 15% off your next getaway using the code DARES2, DARES 2, the number 2, at hotelz.com. These funky and unique hotels are in British Columbia, and they're going to have you not wanting to leave while you're on your next vacation. Enjoy. Hello, all you daredevils. Thank you for joining us today. I am really excited to get chatting with someone that actually is almost like a blast from the past for me. Reason being is she is a travel agent. She actually worked at the same travel agency that I did back in the day. Then she started her own travel agency over in Cochrane, Alberta, and now she is running Found Book Shop. Julia, thank you for joining us today. How are things over in Cochrane, Alberta at the moment?
Oh, thank you so much for having me on here. It's a pleasure, actually. Everything here is good. We've been smoky this summer, but it's finally cleared now. Been seeing blue skies today, which is great.
When the sun's shining and there's blue skies, it makes everything better. That's all that matters.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you could just skip a little bit.
Exactly. So true. Well, tell us a little bit more about yourself. I know I gave a vague overview here, but yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Ontario. Most of my growing up was in the Kitchener-Waterloo area, for anybody that's familiar with the province. And I went to university in Quebec and studied sociology with a minor in criminology with the hopes that I was going to move into becoming a social worker in a hospital setting. That was the plan. And my husband and I, we started off in Ontario, and after I finished school, and realized very quickly that my bachelor's degree is not going to get me anywhere to where I want to be. So we were not really loving being settled in, we were in Toronto, and I love the city, but just didn't feel like home. So we decided just to kind of point at the map and decided to move to Alberta. And so once we were here, plan was that I'd go to university for my master's, and then life gets in the way a little bit.
Of course. Was it master's for the same thing, like criminology, sociology?
Social work. I was going to narrow down into social work, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. That's quite a change then, going from that to a travel agent.
Yeah, so when I first moved here, the plan was, like you said, that they would be going back to school, and we moved to Alberta, I think it was like March of that year, and so I wouldn't be going to school until September. So I just decided that I would just get whatever job I could find quickly and easily, just so that I had some sort of income, and my husband would take his time finding something that was going to help build towards his career. And during that time, the first place that offered me a job was a travel agency, and travel was something that I always really was interested in. I hadn't done much myself, but loved the idea of it, so I jumped on that. I thought it would be really fun. Found out a few weeks after I started that we were pregnant with our first baby.
Oh.
Yeah. So then I didn't know how I would be able to balance being new mom and master's, so put it all on pause, and then
kept going with
on pause.
Yeah. Hey, it happens. It totally happens.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the nice thing too with a travel agent. Like, I had limited travel experience. Like, I traveled to the States with my parents. Yeah. To the States, like Arizona, Hawaii were the two, I think, only. Yeah.
Most exotic places,
most exotic as a kid and growing up. And then, applying at the travel agency that we both worked at, obviously in separate locations. It was one of those things where they all, like, it's almost like they can just send you places and they want you to travel. So then you have the experience, which is really nice.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, really good. How did you find working as a travel agent without having that experience and knowledge beforehand going into it? Was it harder, do you think?
Yeah, like, it wasn't as fun and glamorous as I've seen it on TV shows before.
Right.
Yeah, like, I had no idea the learning curve would be what it was. But
Yeah.
we worked for a really fun-loving company, so the
Definitely.
stress wasn't. Yeah, it was balanced.
Huge like work hard, play hard mentality. That's
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
remember in training, because it was like I don't know if it was the same when you went. It was like an intense 2 week or no, 3 week training course, I think it was in Vancouver. And you had to pass this exam at the end. You had to learn a whole nother
yeah,
language. You have the airport codes. Like
yeah,
it was stressful. And it's true. It's
yeah,
not as glamorous as people make it out to be. And I like when I was a travel agent, all the time, people would be like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. You must love it. Talking to people about amazing trips all the time. And I'm like, yeah, that's like a portion of it. Like,
yeah. If that's all it was,
yeah,
then
right?
yes, it would be the
That'd be
best
great.
job ever.
And when
Yeah,
people are stranded and when they need help and when they get mad at you for thinking you booked something wrong, if someone else can handle that, that'd be great.
yeah,
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 I hear you. So then was
yeah.
travel more of a passion that grew while you were working as a travel agent?
Oh, that's a good question. It's something. So I'm very similar in my growing up travel. I think Florida was probably the furthest that I went, and most of my time was spent in Ontario if we ever did holidays.
Mhm.
But it's something just from watching movies, and then when I started to read books that I picked on my own, learning about different cultures was just something that was fascinating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
that's where I guess the bug crept in, was just watching other people travel or reading other people's experiences in the countries that they lived. And yeah, and that's how that started. And that's how I was like, I really want to be able to do this, but I just had no clue how. I had no tools to know how to book a trip.
Right? There's a lot that
Yeah,
goes
because
into booking a trip that you don't think
and
about.
internet was just starting then for travel, so that wasn't really a thing to just click
Oh.
and go, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Well, and you think back too, I always hear these stories of travel agents before the internet, and they have all
yeah,
like a big book of the airline schedules, and it was the
yeah,
handwritten tickets, and it's just so crazy to think how we've evolved to now like just booking it on an
right.
app or
Yeah.
walking into a
Were
store.
you there yet when they were still doing paper tickets?
No, I started as a
No.
travel
Okay.
agent in 2010, November
Oh,
2010.
okay.
Yeah, is when I
Okay.
started. When did you start?
2005. Yeah,
Okay.
2005. Yeah,
So,
so paper tickets were still a thing. Like they were starting to
oh.
be eased out, which was good, but not
Mhm.
all airlines did them yet. So yeah, so sometimes we'd have to go downtown to be able to pick up a ticket to be able to give it to a client that was somewhere else. But it was,
Oh
yeah,
my.
yeah, it
Was
was
it actually like
crazy.
handwritten tickets or were they like typed out, printed
Sometimes.
out? Really?
Yeah, like you would have like for some airlines, like say British Airways, which is like a very prominent airline, they would have plates. You would have like metal plates, and so you'd press the ticket on it, like those old receipts for
Yeah,
credit
the
cards,
chick chick
like the
ones. Yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah,
swipe
yeah,
ones.
like
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Yeah, but
no
then if it
way.
was like an abstract airline that wasn't as common to use,
Mhm.
sometimes they were written out. Yeah,
Was there ever any instances of people actually changing what's on the ticket? You know what I mean?
not that I
Okay.
encountered,
'Cause
but I'm sure there was, right? Like why wouldn't there
why
be?
wouldn't there be? Well, I
Yeah.
keep thinking of like my dad. Okay, he is like he's a straight Italian, Kate, like fresh off the boat. He didn't speak it like English, and he would change his report cards because his parents only spoke Italian, and he would change all of his like his D's to B's, and like so. I'm just curious if people did that on airline tickets. I don't know why they
I'm
would.
sure, right? Yeah.
Oh, too funny. So being a travel agent, like over all the years that you've had and the experience you have, what have you found would be like has been the hardest part of being a travel agent?
Spring of 2020 would have been,
Preach, sister, preach.
yeah.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
Yeah, yeah, like there were
Yeah.
stressful moments throughout my entire career, and like
Mhm.
some mistakes cost a lot and
Yeah.
that you just never make again. But if we can talk about an era,
Of
like it would
course.
definitely be
Yeah.
March to June. Oh, and it's still trickling actually, but yeah, of 2020.
2020. More so because of all the cancellations, rebookings, unknown.
And just seeing the really ugly side of a lot of people during
Mhm.
that too. Yeah,
Definitely. Because it was panic.
yeah,
Like there was, tens of thousands of people that had to get brought back to Canada ASAP. and you're trying to deal with that, coupled with the people that have trips coming up that are panicking, wanting information. You know, it's a hard one. I agree, a very stressful
And it's one
time.
that we had no clue. Like none of us have had experienced anything like this. No matter how long you've been in the industry, there's been nothing like this.
No, there's no travel agent
to.
pandemic handbook that I wish we could have had
No.
to kind of prepare, right? Like, it's.
But I probably wouldn't have read it though.
Yeah, I know, right? When are we going to need this? Communicable disease? Nah, forget it. It's so true. It's so true. There was a really good story that I had with a woman at a gym class of all things, like while COVID was going through and happening. And I had just lost my job at the travel agency and was chatting with her, and she worked at a local food bank here. And she said that like the food bank was almost going to close in Kelowna because they were doing so poorly. COVID hit and, you know, everyone's staying home. And then all of a sudden there's this influx of people wanting to help. She said she actually had a couple come in and say, hey, look, we were going to go on a really expensive cruise. We had it all lined up. We ended up getting all of our money back. And so here's a check for $10,000. We would like to give it to you guys instead of what we were going to go on our trip. And it was,
that's incredible.
Isn't it amazing? Like, I know we went through a very, very difficult time as a travel agency then, but it's almost a reminder that there are still those people that are, you know, somehow it's like a full circle that hopefully the canceled trips, you know, people are putting it to other uses, right? If they can. So, I hear you. Well, on the flip side of the hardest part, what do you think's the funnest part about being a travel agent?
Oh, having the excuse to have to travel for research. Yeah, I think that would be definitely the best.
I agree. The fam trips. Quite a few fam trips. And like for those listening, a fam trip is a familiarization trip. So the country of Japan will put them on for travel agents if they want you to experience the country, or resorts will put it on and you can go. And sometimes it's whirlwind, like 2 or 3 days, super fast turnaround, but you really get to see a lot too, which is really nice. Where have you been? Do you think that's top of the list that you would really want to go back to?
Like if we're talking from a fam perspective, Taiwan, their tourism board did a phenomenal fam where I cannot wait to get back to that country to be able to explore it at a little bit slower pace than what we did. But yeah, Taiwan was never on my radar to be somewhere that I would be, I have to go there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it blew me away, just the places that they took us to and the different foods that we got to eat. And yeah, it was just, that was incredible.
How long was that trip?
It was about a week. It was 6 days or 7 days, so it was a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
And they put us up in like really swanky hotels. Like it was like we were wined and dined really nicely with that one, which it was phenomenal. But yeah, somewhere that was never on my radar before that I really wanted to make sure I got to, and now I can't wait to go back.
Oh, that's so cool. We did Taiwan super fast. We actually had a 6-hour layover, and then I extended it with my husband on the way back from our long honeymoon. And then my sister and her husband happened to be doing the same thing. So we met up in Taiwan for 9 hours, and we got like picked up at the airport, and it was kind of whirlwind as well, like 9 hours. What do you do? But we feel like we, ate dumplings, best dumplings ever. Highlight.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Oh, what I would give to have those amazing dumplings again. Yeah.
You thought you had dumplings, but oh man.
So good. Well, that's very, very cool. How about on a personal trip note? Where have you been that you just absolutely love?
This is going to sound so like cliche for living in Canada, but Mexico has my heart. Like I love Mexico so much. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I could go there over and over and over and over and over again. I love it.
Yeah.
But a place that's like impacted me and like stole a piece of my heart is Cambodia. That was somewhere that it was just like a side portion of the trip, that maybe like Taiwan, where we were only there for a few days.
Yeah.
As a part of a bigger trip. But man, that country, just like I hadn't learned about the Khmer Rouge until we were planning for the trip. And then I said, well, I should know a little bit about what Cambodia is about. And just, seeing the awful and recent genocide history that they have there, and then just how resilient they've been and what they've been trying to do. I know it's not perfect, but that was a real eye-opener trip for me.
I bet. How long ago was it that you went on that one?
Maybe 8 or 9 years ago, probably.
Okay, yeah.
Something like that.
It's always one of those things too, thinking like, if you went again now, you'd be seeing it through a whole nother set of eyes, right? Like your perspective's
Hmm.
different. Seeing it again, see
Yeah.
how things have evolved since you've been too, right?
And I don't know if they've evolved for the better or not, but, but
I don't know either. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
Nowadays, I think we're all at a little bit of a standstill for
Yeah.
for where we're at, but it'd be very cool if you can get back there.
Yeah. Agreed. What about you? What would be like most impactful trip?
Most impactful trip. I mean, I've always said Bali is top of my list. Like I felt such a connection to Bali the first time my husband and I went. We went for 3 weeks, and being up
Oh.
in the north in like Ubud area and just how tranquil it is and peaceful, and the people and the culture and the intention behind everything the Balinese do really was
Mm-hmm.
something that spoke volumes to us. And then, we joked when we were there, like, oh, what if we got married here? Haha, that'd be so funny. And then what was it? 2 years later, we actually got married in Ubud. So we made it work. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we did. It was a small wedding, like 11 people came, and then we had a barbecue back at home after we got back. But I really would say Bali is up there as far as
Yeah.
experiences go. And I just love the culture and the people and yeah, the intention just
Mm.
behind everything that they do. So that's a place I will definitely go back to. So how about your funniest client travel story or just client story in general?
I had a project that I was the travel manager for, and there's people coming from all over the world to PEI, and they all had to arrive within a few days of each other, well, within a day of each other. And it was one of those projects that I had very little knowledge of beforehand, and was just kind of thrown it, and then just had to learn as I went, which we did a lot of, right?
Mhm. Yes, of course.
Yeah, and so this one, I had someone coming from a small airport in Mongolia that I can't remember what it's called now, but it was this tiny little airport that I'd never heard of before, but that's where they were coming from. And then they had to get from tiny little airport in Mongolia to tiny little airport in Canada, and was able to get flights booked no problem. And then find out it was probably about a week after that they need to travel with a Russian pole, which is something I'd never heard of before. Have you heard of that? A Russian
No,
pole?
no.
No, so it's like if you're in the circus, it's like one of those. I can't remember how many feet it is now, but it's roughly 20 feet long. It doesn't collapse, and I think it's made of fiberglass with maybe wood. And
Oh,
there's one person on each end of the pole, and then there's somebody that jumps in the middle, and it bounces.
oh,
So
I've
that's
seen those. A pole, like a
yeah,
legitimate, literal pole. I see now.
pole, yeah, literal pole.
Holy, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And so this needs to be able to get from small town Mongolia to PEI in Canada. And so then I have to call, and this poor guy has to take, I can't remember how many different airlines he had to
Oh,
switch
wow.
in between. So I had to call all of these airlines to make sure that they can accommodate this. I'm pretty sure it's 20 feet, this 20-foot pole. And one of the airlines that he had to travel with was Turkish Airlines. And I speak, unfortunately, no Turkish.
Yeah.
And
No.
the agent on the phone spoke, thankfully, minimal English. And so I was explaining to her that I need to be able to get this pole onto the plane. And so she's asking what it's being used for, and asking, like, so will it be filled with water? And will they, like, what do they need it for? Like, just like going on. And I was just explaining what I just explained to you, that it's
Yeah.
for people to bounce up and down. And no, it won't be filled with water, but I'm not sure why that's the question, but it won't be filled
Yeah.
with water.
Have you had that happen before? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And so she's asking the dimensions again. So I'm telling her the dimensions, and she's so confused. And then she said, but it won't be filled with water. She keeps clarifying that. And I said, no, it will not have water. There's no need for water.
Oh, no.
But then we finally realized that she's hearing me say pool, and I'm saying pole. So that's where the water was coming in. So it was probably an hour that we were on the phone, and she was putting me on hold, going back and forth to figure out if she can take a pool/pole onto this plane.
She's probably
Yeah.
talking in Turkish in the back, being like, I don't know, this crazy woman wants to bring a
Yeah.
pool on the plane. Okay. This isn't a private jet. We don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so random. So
Yeah.
random.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Those are the crazy requests or things like that a lot of the time you never would think of these things happening.
No.
Ever.
No.
A 20-foot
Yeah.
pole. So it all got there okay?
Yeah.
Worked
It's
out?
good. I'll get there. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Were they actually going to be like performing? Is that why they needed it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. I thought it was like a comfort pool, like a comfort
Oh.
blanket. They just had to bring their pool.
Oh, yeah, it has to be under my seat.
Yeah, exactly. I just need it with me at all times. I really do. Oh, yeah, that could be a stressful one. There's definitely some like flight mares, I used to call them, when you would kind of like
Oh, for
lay in
sure.
bed, right? And you're like, did I issue
Yeah.
that ticket? Did I do that? Is that
Yeah.
person going to arrive tomorrow? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, strange. Yeah, so strange. I never had anything like that, but it was always pets were a tricky one, trying to like transport pets or figure out what airlines would
Yes.
do that and how large, and certain types can't fly, things like that. But
Yes.
I
Yeah.
can't really
And
remember
if
the
a cat
strangest
can technically be,
one.
what's the word? A support animal,
Oh, yep.
things like
Yep.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so strange, but so funny. All of
Yeah.
them. So then you were working for the large travel agency for a while, and then you
Yeah.
created your own travel agency, Evexia Travel,
Mhm.
now
Mhm.
called Found Bookshop. So tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about the transition from being a travel agent for a very large global company, and then moving into your own travel agency.
The best thing ever.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like going from working, I'd say we'd work like a minimum of 40 hours a week, right?
At
And
least, yeah.
at least, yeah. And just the added stress that you have from working for a big company and their expectations, and
Mhm.
to being able to pick when and who I wanted to work with it was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I'd been holding my breath for 15 years.
100%.
And
Yeah.
yeah, well, I guess it wasn't 15 years at that point, but yeah, for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was out on my own, and then it was a little bit stressful just because you're not sure what your paycheck is going to look like month to month, right?
Mhm.
Just because you're on your own now. Yeah, it was definitely the best choice that I'd made for sure in
To
my
change
career.
it too. Whenabouts did you form Evexia Travel?
Like it was technically formed, it was about 4 years ago,
Okay.
but was working on my own for about I think it's 6 years now. I think
Okay.
that I'm losing track of.
I know everything. All the years blur together now.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
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 So true. Well, that's neat then. So then the decision to go more, on your own, independent, start your own. Where did
Mhm.
the name Evexia come from?
Because originally, when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my grown-up self, is I was wanting to move more into wellness travel and like work on
Oh, yeah.
like yoga retreats and things like that.
Yeah.
Because that's a big passion of mine. And so when I was trying to figure out a name, my husband actually found it. It was so Evexia is well-being in Greek, and so I thought it was different, and I liked the meaning of it, and yeah.
Beautiful. And then
Mhm.
with Evexia Travel, so of course that's up and running about 4 years ago. Now all
Mhm.
of a sudden, fast forward to the horrible March of 2020. And obviously there's a lot of panic happening then for any travel agent and for many industries in general, actually. What was your thought process when this all happened? And with the pivot that you made, how did that come to be for the shop?
So thought process originally was like, this really sucks and this is ridiculously stressful and this is so scary, but everything will be fine by summer, right? Like
Yeah.
everything will be back to normal by summer. And then summer comes and then it's like, holy cow, this might not even be back until 2021. We had just opened a storefront in Cochrane the fall, so September of 2019. So we've been open for roughly about 6 months with an actual storefront. So I still have this and have a lease that I need to be able to pay. So we were trying to figure out what to do because travel is not going to be paying the bills clearly for a long time.
Yeah.
So in our town, there's quite a few different forums that are just for people that live in town. So I just put a couple of questions up on different forums asking like what's missing in town. And there was an overwhelming response for either a craft store or a bookstore. And crafts are not my thing. So there's no way that I'm getting
Doing
into
crafts.
that. No, but books was like my portal into my intrigue and love for travel. And so it's like that's actually not a bad idea, and it fits really well because I've always been a book lover myself. And anywhere we travel, I always will find a bookstore to go into, just because I don't know why. I don't know what it is about a bookstore, but yeah, I just love them.
Love them. Yeah.
And we were like, and if we're doing used books, the startup costs are quite low. So yeah, we could do this. So so we started just adding. We had like a wall of shelves and thinking that we'll just do this temporarily until travel's coming back. Because now it's summer, and so we're thinking by late fall. Yeah, and then it slowly morphed and added more books, and travel still paused. So we'll add a few more shelves, and then travel still paused. Well, we might as well add a small section of new books, and travel still paused. And and so then our entire shop was taken over by books, and and then realized that I actually really, really love this, and I love being able to just have time with the people that come in, and you hear so many stories from people that love books, which makes sense, but I was surprised at when it started to happen. And it's just become such I can't let it go now, because as we were talking about travel coming back, we're like, well, since we've got so many books now, we don't want to just stop doing it, and they align really well with travel and books, because you usually grab a book at the airport or whatever.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, but now it's like I can't do both well. And so I still have a little bit of corporate that I still do just behind the scenes, but books won.
Books won. Books for the win. Well, you got to think so many people are going to books. We're looking for different outlets in this day and age right now for something to do.
Yeah.
So it's a great idea, and it's very cool you combined the two. And even as you were saying just now about how you just love, hearing the stories from people and chatting with people, it's definitely one of those things where I think that will always be in you as coming from a travel agent, because you just love to hear the stories of people. So if you have still found another outlet where you can do that, it definitely will continue to feed your soul, right? Because the stories are kind of what keeps us going when in all these times. Yeah, very,
well
very
said.
Cool. Very, very cool. So the client response then, once you opened all the bookstore or the bookstores fully open, has it been pretty good?
Yes, especially since they've changed the name from saying travel on the sign to books. Funny how much of a difference that's made with traffic.
No way. Yeah. I like that. That's good. Really, really good. What would you say? Because obviously you've had a roller coaster of emotions going through this year, and going from, one thing you love to finding something new that you love. What's your biggest takeaway from starting your own business and just keeping it afloat through COVID?
I don't know how I would have done this without my husband, who's a skeptic and always questioning everything that I bring to him. But he's been like my biggest supporter and has trusted me when he knows that I'm talking from my gut. Yeah, so my biggest takeaway is just like I've always been grateful for him, but like it's been an extra level of gratitude for that man of mine over this last year.
That's beautiful. Yeah. It's important because it's all about right now too the people you surround yourself with. So it's amazing that he's been able to help keep this, keep the support alongside you, because I can imagine it's been very, very tough. So that is great to hear.
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky.
Yeah, definitely. So for anyone that is looking to start their own business now or even in the future, do you have any advice you can kind of shoot their way?
Always follow your gut. Always, always. So if you ever have that like tickle in your stomach where you're like, oh, I'm just not sure if this feels right, don't do it. But if it's just like fear in your brain, like what if, just ignore it and do it.
I love it. Ignore it and do it. It's such a good advice. And actually,
what's that book? Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Oh, I haven't actually heard of that one.
Oh, it's a good one.
Feel the fear and do it anyway. I like it. Ooh, I really like that, actually.
I can't remember who the author is, but that's a good one.
I'm going to have to check it out. See, I'll be coming to you for all book recommendations now. Right? Be like, I'm feeling this way. What do I need? Please let me know.
I'll send you the same book title every time.
I know, right? Feel the fear, Raquella. Feel the fear. Just do it. And do it anyway. I love it. Well, it's actually interesting, too, because a lot of the women that I've spoken with on these podcasts, usually whenever I ask for some advice, a lot of them say exactly what you did. You just got to do it. Yeah, you just got to do it, and you just got to start. You just got to start somewhere at anywhere at any point in time and just keep going. And it's true though, because usually the hardest part is starting because of the what ifs, like you're saying, and kind of getting stuck in that rut and that hole of, oh, no, I can't, right? So
it's
great advice.
Scary as F.
It is scary as F. I get it. Yeah. I get it. Change.
And it doesn't always work out the way that you expect it to, right? And that's scary too. Usually if you're following that gut of yours, it's going to work out better than you were expecting.
Yeah, I love that.
Sometimes different than that, but better. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, better. And you grow along the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear you on that. So if people are wanting to check out Found Bookshop, whereabouts can everyone find you?
So we're on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, just with at Found Bookshop.
Mm-hmm.
And then online, our website is also foundbookshop.com.
Do you mail books out for anyone that wanted to purchase like online and mail?
Haven't. It's on my list of things to start to figure out, but it's not there yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we do local delivery, but not actual mail yet.
Very cool. Well, something to look forward to in the future then.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, just thank you again so much for sharing your story and just reminding all of us that it's okay to pivot, it's okay to change, and even through the hardest times, you can, as long as you keep going and you do it anyway, you can still make it through. So it's really, really incredible to have you here. Thank you. Thank you to Hotel Z Kelowna, Victoria, and Tofino for being our sponsor. You can also save 15% off your next getaway using the code DARES2, DARES 2, the number 2, at hotelz.com. These funky and unique hotels are in British Columbia, and they're going to have you not wanting to leave while you're on your next vacation. Enjoy! If you like this episode, please subscribe, download a few more, and leave a review. I really would love to hear from you, what you enjoyed and what your key takeaways were. And of course, please let me know if there's any aspect of the travel industry you want me to talk about next. You can also search for the hashtag SheDaresToTravelPodcast on Instagram and comment on the episode's post with your questions. I'd love to answer them all for you guys. I hope you enjoy your day, stay so well, and until next time, fly straight.